booties for black girl nerds.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. A pleasure to be with both of you. This is such a beautiful film, and I enjoy both of your performances and what you contributed to it. Beginning with you, Garrett, Harry Anslinger is just a very polarizing person from that time in history and what he represented. Do you think he was equally driven by racism and the desire to climb the corporate ladder, or do you think his full motivation was based on racism and just trying to take down people, non-white people?
100%. To climb the corporate ladder. A lot of the research that I did on Anslinger, so many articles point at him being one of the most racist, and they knew. And was a renowned bigot. And look, and still at that time, he was massively respected. He went on to hold this position of the director of Federal Bureau of Narcotics through Truman, Hoover, Eisenhower, and Kennedy. But climbing that corporate ladder was one thing. It was the true quality of what I saw from all the way back early on in his career when he worked for the railroad. Discovered somebody that discovered a fraudulent $50,000 insurance claim, which rose him to be the director of the railroad in Philadelphia. Worked as an assistant to the commissioner in the Prohibition. And he failed at that. So he sort of came into this position as a hungry corporate man with his tail between his legs. And his wife's uncle was Andrew Mellon, who was the United States Secretary of Treasury, who granted him $100,000 to formulate this bureau. And that hunger made him want to become a world-renowned czar of the war on drugs, which allowed him to have ties with the mob and allowed them to sell, as long as they were cutting him a side portion to help him fund and grow his bureau.
For you, Evan, for Agent Williams, for all of these things to take place, there has to be Black co-conspirators who can maneuver within the communities and help them accomplish their goals. Do you think it was easier for your character to navigate this than, say, Trevante's character, Jimmy Fletcher? Because he seemed to have no pause about what he was set out to do.
Yeah, I think there's a moment there, where he's talking about him playing and being a part of the band, but he explains that I think you see that he knows what they're doing is wrong. And but there has to be, you have to see the side of that during that time, to have the possibility of becoming something at that time and taking care of your family and being able to succeed in any kind of way, that a lot of people probably jumped at the opportunity, even knowing how wrong it was what they were doing, and also knowing that if they went against it, what that meant for them. You still see in today's day where it's frightening for people now to speak out still sometimes, and the backlash that you get from that, and showing the side of, obviously at that time it was probably way more detrimental for you to go against something like an Anslinger or anything like that, and looking at being a Black man at that time and having an opportunity to take care of your family and succeed, whatever means necessary. And so I think it was an important thing to see. You had to see that side of it as well. He had an easier time navigating through it. Even though he saw it, I think Jimmy Fletcher's character got closer to seeing the harm they were doing, and he couldn't live with it anymore.
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. This is a beautiful film, and you both were wonderful in it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. shake your booties for Black Girl Nerd.